Been in construction ever since I was about 18 years old. Did a lot of stuff. Everybody's problem with rehabs is they want to try to make everything straight and level, and you can't. And this is the frustrating part with rehabs is when you're dealing with a crooked foundation or a bad wall or bad block work, you have to make it look level even though it's not level. They want to do it perfect, but you can't. You have to make it look perfect. So it's kind of like, the bad thing is it's my wrong 2x4x16s that Home Depot delivered wrong. Those are supposed to be pressure treated. That's for this wall up here. For my exterior walls to put my siding on, has to be pressure treated. So they kind of blew that, so they're swapping those out tomorrow.
And then at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, damn, I did that. I built that, you know? That's what it's all about, man.
My name is Wes Lefevor, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Basically grew up doing it inside of Buckhead, Atlanta when my dad was doing custom homes there along with doing government bailout work. From there in middle school, I switched to virtual school and homeschool so that I could travel to Florida with my father before we moved here. We were doing some projects down in the Keys, Palm Coast, and then from there it just it stuck with me. It was something that I always decided I wanted to do. It's always fun when you get to the finished product, and that's just kind of what I stuck with. Well, for about a little over a decade, I was with Ralph out at Disney as an outside contractor for them, 60 to 80 hours a week. The commercial side of it was a little too much for me. We decided, I had kids, I was missing my family, so we decided that we were gonna retire from that, take our funds and go into building for ourselves. And it's just something, like I said, I grew up when I was younger, when I was a child, going to work with my dad, and then we switched to the commercial side, and now we're just kind of came back to what he originally did. I do a lot of the day-to-day project management, issues that pop up every day, finding solutions for them. So, just like today, we ran out of lumber on the roof framing the third story. I ran up to Home Depot, they had none in stock, so I had to get some delivered tomorrow. So I decided to come back. I got the guys working on siding on the front. I'm doing plumbing in the basement with Ralph. So just you gotta be able to pivot when you have nothing to do instead of just sitting down twiddling your thumbs.
here, you do this and I'll do it. If you ever figure this out for me, I'll do that. I already got that figured out.
Just push my hand up.
We're gonna knock this over a tad bit more.
Well, let me see something, if I can.
Yeah, see? That's all you gotta be right there.
Oh, that's it?
Most 3 inches don't even fit in the goddamn wall. So you've not seen those humps?
You want me to just sit here for the rest of my life and hold it like this so people move in?
No.
I want to notch that a little bit more.
The good piece, 13 inches.
I'm fairly lax for the most part. I know people have bad days and good days, but when it comes down to it, I can be extremely stern when I need to be. I told the boys today, I said, listen, we had a couple bad days last week, we're all sick. So we really got to get on it this week. We have a list of things that have to be done by Friday. And if they're not done, there are consequences to those actions. Well, currently we just finished yesterday framing the staircase for the 3rd floor. Now I've got plumbing going on downstairs, going into the sump pit. I've got the other 2 guys out front putting siding on the front of the home, and we are framing all the walls for the 3rd story and getting ready for the actual roof. The fun of this project was when we decided to take it on, everybody said it was too big of a project. Even the city was like, nah, you should probably just tear it down. It just needs too many renovations. But because of our background, we said, no, the bones of the property are still good. We decided that the layout was bad, all the interior was terrible. So we just gutted the entire thing and said, well, we'll just use the shell and make everything brand new. My long-term goals is to get this thing basically running to where I can do 2, 3, 4 projects at a time, and I can collect enough people to run subs that I trust so that I don't have to constantly manage every single part of my day. It gets to be a little too much sometimes. If you want to get into home building, start small. Do not undertake anything that you think looks good because the internet told you it's easy to do. Because a little bit of paint and a little bit of drywall work does not constitute a renovation, and it will not get you the return that you think it will. You can't just do flooring. People think that they put new cabinets in, new flooring, do a little bit of paint and don't fix anything. They just assume, oh, well, since it looks better, it'll sell better.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Ralph. I'm in project development and project quality control for these rehabs and new constructions and everything. Today we're going to go over the plumbing systems for the downstairs so everybody understands a little about when you do rehabs why it is more costly than it is new construction, because you have to demo and do a lot of other things to make it fit and make it work. Sometimes it's a little difficult and time consuming. So we're going to go to the bathroom first down here, because this bathroom at one time never had a basement that had a bathroom in it. So we've installed a bathroom here. So if you'll follow me, we'll go over here and go through it. So here we have bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and then we have the bathroom here for the downstairs. So here, like I said, we didn't have a bathroom at all, so we had to cut the concrete. This is our vanity drain that goes into the 3-inch waistline. Code says you have to have a 1/4-inch fall for every 12 inches. So this is a double bowl vanity, so we went with a 2-inch drain instead of an 1 1/4, 1.5 inches, just because we don't need issues with hair, soap, and stuff like that that builds up into the pipe. Then as it comes down, it goes into the soil stack. Now this soil stack is 3-inch. This is where your toilet or your lavatory is going to set, is here. This goes out. This right here is basically for your tub shower combo. So this will be attached to the 3-inch outside, so when it Y's in, it carries the flow straight out and doesn't make it all in one straight shot. This way it ties in and goes the way it's supposed to be. Now over here, we have the new laundry room over here. Again, there was never any plumbing down here at all. So here we have our 2-inch drain for our laundry box. This is our laundry box. Again, 1/4-inch fall, 2-inch drain, because if you notice when you do a laundry, you pump a lot of water out. So we do a little bit more than a 1/4-inch per foot for fall, because that's a lot of water coming out that goes through. And you really don't need a backup in this, because if this backs up, you're gonna have a mess to clean up. And then here, we also have, this is our hot and cold water for the laundry. Here's your shutoffs to turn your water to hook your dryer up. And then next time we'll get into the electrical part of it, what we have to have in here. Now over here, if you'll look up over here, you'll be able to see we have a kitchen island upstairs, and this is the drain for the kitchen island. Now again, comes out 1/4-inch per 12-foot fall, comes in, goes down, and goes out the building over here. Now, for those who think it's a little crooked, yes, it is crooked for a reason. Number one, these are 2x8 floor joists that are no longer to code. Can't use these, but since it's existing, we're allowed to use them. So when you come out, you had to kick over a little bit, and then because of the way the block is built, the edge over here is what they call the core of the block, or the center. You can't knock that out. You need to scoot over to knock your hole through the actual opening part of the block so the drain can go out. So yes, it's going to be offset a little bit, but that is definitely on purpose. So a lot of people come in and say, oh my, it's not level, it's not straight. Number one, it's not supposed to be, and as long as it drains, it works. Here we have the ice maker line coming down. We haven't tied that in yet. Then we have the hot and cold lines coming from over here, coming from the water heater. That's your hot and cold, and that's your cold going to the heater. This tie-in here is for the 3rd floor and also for the kitchen up here. So there we have that for the plumbing down there. Other than that, that's pretty much all we have down there. And then once we go upstairs, we have a half bath over here that's already got the plumbing in it, so it was there existing. So when we come across here, and it's the same thing over here, we have to put a vent stack on all of our plumbing, because if it can't suck air, it's what they call it basically it airlocks, or it'll waterlock, which means it won't drain as fast, tends to stop up. This pipe here, as it goes out, we'll put a T on the outside out here, run the vent stack up, and it's called a wet vent, which it doesn't matter if the rain goes in it or not, it'll still drain. So this will be a wet vent here, 2-inch dry vent, wet vent. Over here in the bathroom, same thing on the outside, we'll do a 2-inch drain out here with a vent. And it's the same thing for the laundry. Once we go out the building, we'll put a T and go up 10 foot and put a vent stack on it. This way, all the water has enough air, because if you notice when you flush a toilet, you can see the suction it pulls. Well, if it's not pulling air, it will not drain, it'll stop up. Then you got a problem, and you think you have a sewer issue when you really don't. It's basically your airlock, and you can't get air into your system. And air is like on a car. If a car can't get air to breathe, it will not run. It's the same thing with plumbing. If it can't have air, it will not run. Well, we just went over everything downstairs. We pretty much up here on the main floor, which is your entrance. We're pretty much ready here. So what we're doing next week, now that our rough-ins are done, our plumbing and all of our electrical rough-ins are done, then we'll go back downstairs and do what we call a punch. Make sure dead wood's in the walls to hang sheetrock, that we don't have issues there. Make sure all the windows are airtight, all the screws, bolts, everything that needs to make them hurricane resistant are all in place. Seal them up, get them airtight, and get ready for our basic rough-in inspections. So what we do is we call for a plumbing rough, and then we call for electrical rough. And once we get our plumbing and electrical, then what we do after that is call for a framing inspection. They do the framing after that. Then once we get our framing passed, then we basically insulate the walls, and then we can start hanging sheetrock. And we'll just work our way up from the basement to the main floor. And by that time, we should be done with the third floor up there, ready to do the same thing. We'll just work our way right out of the building.